Hi everyone. So today I'm going to discuss my lit review on women in healthcare leadership roles. So why I chose this topic was because I find it interesting how there are few women in healthcare leadership roles versus men. And then I also found reasons why women are not in healthcare leadership roles. And some of these reasonings through my articles I found were that it was because of motherhood, stereotyping, and then personality traits. And these were just a few of the topics that I found throughout my research. So the research question that I developed for this lit review was, why are females less likely to have any kind of a leadership role? So my first article's main points that I'm going to discuss were women make up most of the workforce, healthcare workforce globally. Um, and in this article, it talked about WHO, which is known as the World Health Organization. And they were criticized for the underrepresentation of women, meaning that their handbook for guidelines was to have a balance in terms of gender and geographic, but lacked women representatives. So they were criticized for their underrepresentation. And then my other main point was that women often earn less for the same amount of work. And I'll talk more about that later. So, key barriers for this article was uh, that the scope of topic of the guideline was related to the gender composition of the guideline development group. However, because of the diversity of the topics and the overlapping nature of many of those guideline topics, they were unable to apply a mutually exclusive classification system. So in Article 2, for my main points, was internal promotions, meaning that women were already working for this organization in some kind of manner, and then they were promoted internally for that position, that higher position, and that they're not being hired for these positions coming from outer resources. So they're not applying for these jobs, working for another company and getting them. They're working within that company and being promoted that way. To pave a pathway was just meaning that it was suggested that women should take on high risk or high reward projects within that organization, and to also be vocal and clear in their willingness to assume board promotion opportunities. And then male enhanced cultures is literally what it sounds like. There are just many cultures and societies today that still believe men have the higher power and are looked at more as leaders than the female population. So key barriers for this research showed that many companies lag diversifying the governing board and remain satisfied with the status quo of traditional male governance system. So just meaning the companies still have more males than females and don't look to change right now. So main article points for my topic number 3 was that women executives are much more likely than males to be department head or to fill other staff positions. Self-reported information on salary, and then males were preferred over females. So basically what this article was stating was that women were more likely to fill in as like a core position on a floor, which is just a leader nurse for the rest of the staff, or like a service leader on a specific floor, but not necessarily like a CEO or a chief of staff or a role like that. And then the self-reported information on salary. This was just stating that women in an exact same position as a male, with the same educational requirements, they're identical in other resources, would still make less than the male in that position, even if they were doing the same amount of work. And then males were preferred leaders over females. And this was just stating that male leadership was preferred even if the credentials of the candidates were the exact same. is basically what the article is stating on this. So key barriers for this article are that healthcare executives are not investing enough in monitoring and leadership development, and this is a lack of attention is even more pronounced for women and minorities. So basically, they're mentoring and setting up males for success, and they're excluding the women population, even the minorities, on these opportunal advancements for them. The other barrier to this article was that it was greater than 10 years old, but I found it had a lot of valuable information, so I was able to still use this. So for my final article's main points was women advancements, conservative societal expectations, and then characteristics mean different things between males and females. And so what McGowan and Stokes, the authors of this article, were talking about was that conservative societal expectations make it difficult for women to balance the demands of maternity leave, childcare, or just even caregiving, or running a household while in these leadership roles. So it's just showing that organizations aren't adapting to the needs of women who still have to play those other roles outside of a leadership position. And then what they were talking about in the characteristics mean different things. The example that they used in the article was ambitious, and it was stating that ambitious for a male was a positive thing, but being ambitious as a female was a negative characteristic. So barriers to these articles was that parenthood was the most cited barrier for women assuming a leadership role in their interviews about female leadership in medicine, which I just kind of discussed. And then another limitation to this article was that there may have been social desirability bias in the focus group, as the participants may have wanted to give socially acceptable views, avoid criticism, and then gain approval from the other group members within that focus group. So moving forward in women in healthcare leadership roles is leadership classes. And what I mean by leadership classes is, for example, like the class we're taking right now, this Com 320 class. It's an opportunity for undergraduates to get a better understanding of what leadership and what qualities are needed. And then being innovative. And when I say by innovation is being a leader who influences others to work together to accomplish goals. I think this is something extremely important. If you don't have this kind of leadership skill, it makes it hard for other members in that organization to trust you and want to believe in the good that you're doing. And then just beating that status quo. And what I mean by this is that if organizations looked at the bigger picture um, instead of settling for that status quo of the male leadership, we could potentially see a gap in leadership barriers and even the gender differences finally coming to a close and being equally opportuned in these leadership positions. I hope you found this interesting, and I look forward to hearing back on your feedback. And then here are my references for you guys. Thanks, guys.